So, Bill, I want to go back to, I want to pick up again on the audience building because you seem to have had a knack to find audiences, Jacques Brel, yes, and then building up this base of people who are excited to come. And a lot of theaters have a hard time finding and building that base. So I'm wondering what happened differently. Is it because you were local? You know, and there's the Playhouse. I don't want to overemphasize the Playhouse Arts Club dichotomy, but still the Playhouse went down ultimately because they couldn't control their costs, and because the audiences weren't packing it out. So how do you build audiences that want to go back to the arts club?
I think going back on something I said earlier about instincts is I had to trust my instincts. Like, what would I like to see in a theater? What would I like to go to if I was buying a ticket? What kind of play? What kind of musical? I've fairly wide interests. I don't have any particular axe to grind, like political or this, that, or the other. And so in choosing shows, that's how I started, like reading, obviously I read a lot of plays, listened to a lot of musicals, whatever. I had a musical background, but just using my instincts and then thinking that if I liked it, if I wanted to go, then surely there were other people out there like myself that would also like to go.
What's your musical background?
Well, I studied piano. I was in a boys band. We traveled to Europe, like a concert band, not a rock and roll band, and was always interested in music. And
so you have a bit larger of a palette when you're looking at a show, because you have a musical sensibility.
Yeah, exactly.
Which a lot of artistic directors don't.
Yeah.
Right?
So
I'm in it for the art. I'm in for the high art, but you're in it for the, I don't want to say the sheer entertainment of it, but for the joy of live performance and people really wanting to come back.
I think so, and I think the entertainment part of it is important. That, as I say, I didn't have a particular axe to grind, so it wasn't like I wanted to put on a play because I thought this play is going to make a big statement necessarily. I just felt that whatever play I chose should be something that I would want to see and I'd want to enjoy. And I would, if it had a message, great. If it told something unusual or different, or gave an experience that I hadn't had before, that's what I looked for when I traveled. If I went to London or New York or Toronto or wherever, the kind of play that I would like to see. And so that would be something that I would like to program. And then once I'd chosen the work, what I really felt was important is that it have a kind of local relevance from the people in it, the cast in it, the director. I wasn't into bringing in directors from elsewhere. I thought, I would recognize a talent like Janet Wright, an excellent actress. I thought, well, she's an excellent actress. I'm sure she can be an excellent director, which she turned out to be. So, and I wanted to surround myself with people that were theatrically more adept than myself. Like, I wanted to get a director who was a better director than I might be, or I never was an actor, so that wasn't that wasn't a problem. I didn't, I had no interest in acting on stage. So, and I felt once I got that group of people together, once I got that commitment, then it should be joyous experience, and make sure that the audience, when they came, and that's also part of it, when the audience walks in the door, when they are welcomed, that they feel they're going to something maybe a little special, but not too special. Like, they don't have to necessarily dress up. And then I think there was a feeling with the civic theaters that you had to dress up to go to a civic theater. When we were starting out in the 70s and 80s, yeah, you could come in your jeans, you could come whatever way you liked, but we wanted to make sure that you were welcomed. And of course, the bar, the access to being able to buy a drink before the show or an intermission was also very much part of that. because the Arts Club started as a bar, started as a private club. So the fact that at the original Seymour Street Theatre, the theatre was upstairs, the bar was at the first floor. So people could arrive, get their ticket, go to the bar, have a drink or whatever. And you know, therefore they were already sort of entering the space. They were relaxed, they were out for an evening. They wanted to enjoy themselves, but also, no matter what the show was, they wanted to make sure that it was something, I wanted to make sure that it was something that when they left the theater, they felt that they had some kind of experience that was different than when they first arrived, you know, that they were changed in some way.
So it's interesting you say you weren't a statement theater, or someone would say, well, you're not an art theater. At my theater, I do art that pushes the boundary and opens up the dimensions of blah, blah, blah. You're not a showbiz theater, which is Mervish, which is I do shows, but you are somewhere between the art and the showbiz in that people always have to have a good time, and I'm not going to beat them over the head over either gender rights, Vietnam, or climate change. So am I right in describing that?
I think so, yeah. I think there's a kind of middle road, yeah, as opposed to a very specific high art road or a specific low road, right? There's a kind of middle range, and that's where most of the theater is anyways. I mean, the theater is always, live theater has always been a popular form.